What's going to make more money? Is it going to be Bitcoin or is it going to be Ethereum this cycle, and why? Here's an interesting one for you. Did you know MicroStrategy, had they bought Ethereum instead of Bitcoin, they would currently be up 44% on their purchases. However, they didn't do that, and they're right now basically at break even on their Bitcoin. 44% gains versus break even. That's interesting. Another interesting thing, had MicroStrategy bought all that Ethereum instead of Bitcoin, they would currently be earning around, they'd have like 3.6 million ETH, and that would be earning them around 150,000 Ethereum a year if the staking rate is 4%. That's what the math is based on. They'd be getting 150,000 ETH per year, which would be worth $300 million per year. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Let's get into this because I think this is a pretty interesting conversation to have here. First, let's talk a little bit about some of the historical data. So last cycle, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin bottomed out a little over $3,000 back in late 2018. Of course, down in 2020, we came down close to that once again. But from that 2018 bottom up until the 2021 cycle top, that was 2,100% gains. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good until you look at the Ethereum charts. Ethereum got down to like $80. It's crazy, man. It was crazy. I remember just stacking up truckloads of Ethereum under $200 for a while there because we actually just ranged sideways for quite a bit. And anyway, it was nuts. But from that $80 low up until the cycle peak, Ethereum did 6,300% gains, significantly outperforming Bitcoin. Fascinating. Now, obviously, we cannot predict the future. I don't know what the future is going to hold. But as a thought experiment, let's extrapolate out what could happen. So here's a prediction for you based on previous cycle trends, but assuming diminishing returns, because we tend to have diminishing returns as the market cycles go on and market caps get bigger, etc. Let's say Bitcoin goes up to $150,000 this cycle, which is a number. Let's just take the average numbers I've seen bantered around. This is probably one of the more realistic numbers. Some people are saying 300,000 or 500,000 this cycle. Some people are saying we're going up to $250,000. Maybe we do. Maybe it's the blow off top for like 30 seconds on some exchange. It gets to $250,000. Maybe not. Maybe 150K is the more reasonable number. So 150K. That's an 850% gain from the, was it $16,000 low of the cycle? Assuming, of course, that's the low of the cycle. Let's hope it is. Not bad. 850% returns. I dig it. That's some serious returns. I love it. However, Ethereum. Ooh, Ethereum. What are you doing here? Ethereum goes to 15K as, again, a prediction. A prediction. So if Ethereum goes to 15K, BTC 150K, Ethereum 15K. That means Ethereum would put in a 1,550% gain. It's a big number. This is just, some numbers I'm pulling out of my butt here, but this would assume that, again, we see an outperformance of Ethereum in the coming cycle. And I think that Ethereum has got a lot of things coming behind it that give it that potential. So I think Ethereum will outperform, but why? Why, Lark? Why will Ethereum outperform Bitcoin? Lark, aren't we going to have a Bitcoin ETF soon? Doesn't that mean only Bitcoin? It's going to be a unique moment in time when only Bitcoin, it's going to suck all the liquidity out of every other coin. All the money's going to get build Bitcoin. Every shit coin's going to die. Bitcoin to the moon, of course. Well, it's an interesting theory. However, I think it excludes the very likely, in my opinion, reality that basically we're going to get a Bitcoin ETF. And then probably within a few months' time, we're going to get an Ethereum spot ETF as well. So then you'll have a situation where Bitcoin won't uniquely benefit to the extent that some people say that it will from an ETF approval, because Ethereum will be hot on its heels and also get an approval for an Ethereum spot ETF, which then puts the same wind in the sails of Ethereum that are going to be in the wind of Bitcoin. Now, you may say, well, I don't believe that, Lark. I don't believe that. Look, that's what Canada did. So there's that to keep in mind. Also, Ethereum futures ETFs are coming. So the SEC may be warming up a little bit to Ethereum. Grayscale probably going to win their SEC lawsuit, which also paves the way for an Ethereum ETF. So both Bitcoin and Ethereum will have ETF wins in their sales. So it kind of cancels each other out. What about the Bitcoin halving? What about the Bitcoin halving, huh? Well, Bitcoin halving, interesting proposition here. So Bitcoin halving versus Ethereum now. April 2024, we're going to see mined Bitcoin emissions cut from 900 a day to 450 a day. 50% supply reduction produced by miners. That's bullish. That's bullish. Of course, that's bullish. But whales are now buying that much per month. So that's also bullish. Shrimp and small retail investors, they're buying about twice that amount per month right now. Also very bullish. Demand's outstripping supply right now. It'll be dramatically outstripping supply post-Bitcoin halving. Cool. ETF hype also not factored into the reality of miners producing that much less Ethereum. But then there's Ethereum. Ethereum today is already deflationary. Let's take a look at this right here. Ethereum right now, the inflation rate is minus 0.132%. Negative. Ethereum's deflationary right now. Bitcoin inflation right now is 1.8%. It's going to go down to 0.9% post halving. Ethereum's already deflationary. And what happens when fees on Ethereum explode in the bull market, which they will? Are we going to have a minus 5% year where literally like 10 million Ethereum are burned away forever? Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Would it surprise you? It could be that crazy. We know how Ethereum fees can be, guys. Now, what about layer twos? Because Ethereum has so many other things working in its favor. I think Ethereum, again, wins hands down here. The Bitcoin Lightning Network right now has a capacity around 4,800 Bitcoin. Could have a bit higher depending on secret nodes and stuff like that. Okay, sure. $130 million, though, let's say, in the network. I want to see more adoption for the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Coinbase is apparently going to be adopting it at some point in the future. I want to see more wallets, more users, more people. Great. Totally support the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Reality is $130 million in the Bitcoin Lightning Network right now. Ethereum layer twos, we have almost 30 layer twos for Bitcoin, and between them, they have almost $11 billion total value locked. In fact, the Ethereum layer two ecosystem is so big, expanding so fast and exploding so hard during a bear market, man. Look at what's happening right now in a bear market. Hundreds of applications are launching, all attracting liquidity, $11 billion worth of liquidity. Massive companies, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Reddit, and others building on layer twos, bringing their user bases into layer twos. All of that layer two action requires more Ethereum for gas fees. And of course, more Ethereum to use in DeFi on all of these different platforms, more Ethereum needed for buying NFTs and all these different layer twos, et cetera, et cetera. Then, of course, you got Larry Fink. Larry Fink's on the tokenize everything bandwagon finally. Where do you think everything's going to be tokenized? It's not going to be on, I don't even know what chain some of you guys are using these days, but it's probably not all going to be tokenized on Solana, for example. Might be. Some of it will be, but big money, big institutions going to continue to choose the brand name, the most recognized brand name. They're going to choose the best, the most established, and the perceived to be safest blockchain out there, which is going to be Ethereum. That's where they're going to put their real estate bonds. That's where they're going to put their equities. That's where they're going to put their corporate bonds, et cetera, et cetera. So welcome to the party, Larry Fink. PayPal as well. 400 million users they're bringing with them. Just keep that in mind. Let me remind you that 400 million PayPal users are going to get access to PYUSD, the PayPal USD stablecoin. Bullish. The biggest awning on-off ramp fiat event ever, really, for crypto. Welcome to the party, PayPal. What about monetary incentives? Well, you buy Bitcoin, you hold Bitcoin, you wait until you die, you take your damn private keys to the grave with you like a good Bitcoiner. Come on. Come on. And of course, thank you for taking some Bitcoin out of supply when you do that. You're benefiting everyone else's bags. That, of course, is the ethos here. Compare that to Ethereum. You buy ETH, you stake ETH. You start earning some sweet, sweet annual income, 4-5%, depending on network usage and gas fees coming through. You can, of course, cash that 4 or 5% out because it's paid in Ethereum. You can cash it out and take the money in hand, or you can restake and earn even more next year. By the way, Ethereum staking is a value flywheel for ETH because it locks up more of the supply for Ethereum. About 21, 22 million ETH currently locked up. And you need to bring that into your moon math equation because remember this, currently it would take around 2 years for all Ethereum stakers to exit the staking contract. Meaning when the highs come and everything starts getting crazy, 21 million ETH that used to be able to be dumped on the market can't be dumped on the market. It's locked up. And Bitcoin, not the same. It relies on the diamond hands, baby, to not dump at the highs, which a lot of whales will. A lot of retail probably will take some profits as well, which is their right to do. But the dynamics are simply different. For better or worse, that's what Ethereum's doing. This is what Bitcoin's doing. And look, to be clear, I don't expect Ethereum to like dramatically outperform Bitcoin this cycle. It's not going to like do 20,000% gains. Bitcoin's going to do 1,000% gains. That would, of course, mean Ethereum would flip Bitcoin to number one. I don't see that happening. And obviously, I hold crap tons of both these coins. But I do think that Ethereum has the narrative. It has the fundamentals. It has so much lining up behind it that it's going to have a very strong showing. And once again, like last cycle, outperform Bitcoin this cycle. Maybe not as much as last cycle, but it will outperform Bitcoin again.